Hey everybody, it's me, Angel Benton, and it is time for another edition of Angel Sudsy Recap, where we delve into the world of daytime television and do a few reality shows on the side. As you can see, I'm a little bit sunburned. Got a little sunburn right there, and right on my arm. See, you can tell because I had on a muscle shirt. I spent the day at Disneyland yesterday. I'm going to be talking more about that on my next one for Bold and Beautiful. Because Bold and Beautiful, is an ongoing series. So, I can take a little time to talk about myself. But this time I'm talking about The Amazing Race because, it was crazy. So, I'm talking about the episodes that aired 2 weeks ago on The Amazing Race. There was 2 episodes. And of course, Team Fun, my favorite team now, they're gone too. I'm batting 0 for 0 on this Amazing Race. I was all about Seth and Olive, all about Team Fun. So, and of course, everyone left is really just awful people. So I just don't care for any of them. So I really don't care who wins. I don't. They've taken all emotional investment out of the show completely for me. So we'll see who. I mean, I'm still gonna keep watching and keep doing these recaps, but and that's annoying. It's annoying. It's kind of annoying. Here's why it's annoying. It's annoying because they're saying that you have to play dirty to win the Amazing Race, and that is not the best message to send to people, especially in today's political climate. To It's just not a good idea. That's just my opinion. I could be completely wrong, but um, anyways, so for these past 2 legs of the Amazing Race, what they had to do was they went to they started in Athens, and then they had to go to Hanoi, Vietnam. Isn't it funny how after the Vietnam War, no one was going to Vietnam, and now like everyone goes to Vietnam on vacation, right? And now before no one went to Cuba, and now people are planning vacations in Cuba as well. People are going to China all the time. After Tiananmen Square, no one was going to China, but England gave Hong Kong back, and now we're all like, okay, let's do let's do China, and it's like it's a little crazy. Excuse me. Anyways, so they're in Vietnam, and the first thing they've got to do is they've got to either pick this real tall, rickety bamboo ladder. It's strong, but it just looks rickety. But it's huge. Huge, huge, huge. And they've got to navigate that through the streets to this one place. And then they've got to walk it up these stairs in this like apartment building. And then they've got to go outside, catch a bird cage that they have hanging way up top. And then they've got to bring all of that back to the actual place where they picked up the ladder. So the first 3 teams get there, and those were the boys, Team Fun, and who was the other? Oh, Lolo. Anyways, so in terms of, they had to kind of navigate, and make their way. The staircase was the hardest part because it would get caught on stuff, and it's kind of difficult because it was so long and so long, and then the staircases were so short. It was very difficult to try to move their furniture, but they got through it. All 3 of them got through it, and then the other 2 teams had to do. They had to set up a mannequin shop, looking like kind of and doing these mannequins to see how these mannequins were going to look, like a display. They had to do a window display, and they had to follow the window display exactly like it is on the picture. And at first, though, they all went to do the ladder, but there was only 3 ladders, and that meant the other 2 had to choose the other detour. So this began a huge, huge, annoying argument between Brooke and Scott, because it was Brooke's job to get the ladder, right? And 2 other teams, and Brooke and Scott got there at third. But they got their second. They got there after Brooke and Floyd. So they got their second, but the other 2 teams came, and they took the ladders, and she was she's like, Scott, come hold the ladder. Like, I mean, so they ended up fighting the whole episode, and it it's exhausting watching them. I cannot believe if she was my partner, I would have totally, oh my God, I don't know what I would have done. I would have lost it. I would have fucking lost it. I seriously would have snapped at her. I really would have. And she would be crying. And I would not care. I would be so pissed. Anyways, and then, but her team partner is not that much better because when it came time to do the next child detour, which was a bungee jump, you know how he is with heights. He's like, God damn it, why do I always get the ones with heights? Blah blah blah. So then he starts freaking out. He's like, I'm scared. No, I can't. I can't do this. And you know, blah blah blah. And then the way that the commercial was edited, and this was hilarious. The way that the commercial was edited made it look like the guy just shoved Scott right after he was like, I can't do this, boom. Now, personally, I think that's kind of how it should have been. But the reality is on the show, that's not how it was. He said he could do it, and then they counted down from 5, and then he jumped. He didn't even get pushed. I really wish that that would have been hilarious. I can't do this anymore. Boom, bye. Bye, bitch. Anyways, so yeah, everyone else did the bungee jump just fine. Let's see. Matt did the bungee jump. And I think that's kind of good because, you know, Redmond just has one leg. And so it kind of would have been difficult for him to have the be tethered by his ankles because, I mean, with the shape of his leg, I mean, it would have been kind of weird. So I think that was a good pick. And then after they had to do that, then they had to go to this, then they had to do this bicycle challenge, and this is what fucked Team Up and Team Fun up, and it was, because, I mean, right after the bungee jump is when they did their first pit stop, and this is also where Becca and Scott, Brooke and Scott, I just keep wanting to call them Team Will and Grace. They're Team Will and Grace, right? Although Grace is nowhere near as annoying as Brooke. I'm sorry, she's annoying. And Will is nowhere near as annoying as Scott, so I would have probably rather have seen Team Will and Grace. Anyways, so Team Will and Grace had words. First of all, with Logan and Lolo about the ladder, but they were like, we squashed it, we're fine, we're good, let's keep going, it's all good. But Mom and Dad, who only made it through that leg because they kept fucking up the window display. And they only made it through that challenge because, because it was a non-elimination leg. And so they got to go through and live another day. And they were pissed off at Brooke and Scott still. And Brooke and Scott were like, look, it's a game, blah, blah, blah. I mean, like, I hate that people use that rationale to fuck each other over. Like, I get it. I'm not saying you have to help people. Because many a time we've seen where if you help someone, that is going to be your downfall. I get that. But you don't have to be an asshole. Or you don't have to tell them wrong information. Or you can just keep your lips zipped and keep going. I mean, that's it. And then if anyone asks, just say, we're not helping anybody. We're not in an alliance with anyone. We're not helping anybody. We're helping each other. That's it. That's what we're supposed to do. And, you know, if I can't hold your hand for part of the race, oh well. You know, I'm also not going to steer you wrong and tell you, yeah, go down to the left when I know it's to the right. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it is what it is. Anyways, that's just my opinion. Maybe I wouldn't last very long in that game because maybe it's as much of a social game as it is. I just think it's getting a little bit out of hand. I can't wait for this season to be over because I'm just over this fucking gimmick. I hope they have a different gimmick next season. Like, you know how last season they had the social media gimmick, how all these people were Vine celebrities or YouTube celebrities? I mean, at least then, even though we already knew who most of them were, I would love to see an all-soap star edition of The Amazing Race. That would be... I'm surprised they have not done Celebrity Amazing Race yet. I mean, they've had, like, celebrities on the show, but they've never done, like, a full-on celebrity edition. I think they should. I think it'd be awesome. Anyway, so they get to Vietnam, and the first thing they had to do is they had to do this bicycle challenge where they had to load up this bicycle with all this shit, and then ride this bicycle down this non-paved path to this guy. He had to count all your shit that you had loaded on it, make sure it was good, and then you had to go back, and then you go into the next challenge. And that's where Team Fun, it just fucked them. It totally fucked them over, because poor Floyd, he went the first time, he dropped some of his stuff, and they were like, he thought that he could drop it off and then go back and get it and then come back and bring it. But they said, no, you need to bring it all at once. So that means he had to go all the way back. And then the second time he did it, he still couldn't make it. Until finally, he almost passed out from heat exhaustion. And the medic had to come, and Phil came to him, and he was like, I'm sorry, but you're the last team to arrive. You've been eliminated. So that was very disheartening, because I like their spirit. I'm not an optimist by any stretch of the imagination, but I loved their optimism. I really was rooting for them. So it's unfortunate. It's all good though. So we'll see what happens next week. So I know next week they're going to be in Korea, and they're going to be fighting for the last episode. So we've got 2 episodes left. I'm excited. I don't know. I still haven't. Usually at this time I've decided what's going to take its place here in the Sudsy recap. I don't know. I might do one episode about Atlanta, just to the Real Housewives of Atlanta, to just kind of tie up that whole season. But I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, thank you so much for logging on today. I do appreciate it. Please feel free to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Angel Benton. Excuse me. And feel free to hit that little subscribe button on YouTube. You can hashtag Amazing Race to talk the Amazing Race with me, or you can also hashtag Bold and Beautiful to talk the Bold and Beautiful, which I'm going to be doing tomorrow. Thanks a lot, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Peace out. Wubba, wubba, wubba.